Welcome people to the second class of computer science for class 12. So, we were studying on the chapter network connection. So, like we have discussed on the previous class, that is our first class, that what is a computer network. So, we know computer network is a connection of different devices or computers. Okay, so how is this device formed? So, this thing we will study in today's class. So, why this computer network is used, like why these devices are connected? In order to share data, resources or applications, fine. So, we have also studied what is a like different types of computer networks. So, what were the types? Let me just brush you up. So, they were what? PAN, LAN, MAN, WAN. We have studied all this, right. So, what was PAN? PAN. PAN is personal area network. So, that is what that we use personally, for example, Bluetooth, or for example we share hotspot within ourselves, right. So, we have I have like explained this, we had a discussion on this before. So, what was LAN? LAN was local area network, right. So, what is local area? Local area means this network connection is based on a small area, not a large geographical area. For example, a building or a flat, or for the best example you can get is your school or your education institution. So, we have local area network there, like the connection of network is local, it is not for a long distance, correct. Then third one we have studied was MAN, MAN, which stands for metropolitan area network, good. So, what was this used for? See, metropolitan was what? It depends, metro means what? City. So, this the coverage area of MAN is used widely, for example, cities or countries. So, here we use metropolitan area network, the bandwidth is more. And then we have studied about WAN. WAN is wide area network, WAN. So, why is it referred as wide area network? Because this area, this thing is like used for continents or group of countries, right. So, this wide area network is used like it has the largest geographical area. So, we have studied, like I am not saying you in details, we have already studied this network connections, and today we will study about how the network connections are actually made, like the structure of the network connections. So, we know what is a network, we have understood, we have gone through the different types of networks, and now we will study network topologies. So, why the term topology is used? See, topology is basically the term that is used to identify, to describe the structure of the network that is formed, fine. So, we can say that topology defines the structure of the network connection that has been formed with various different phases or various different designs. So, what are nodes? Like I have already explained, nodes are the devices, suppose your computer or your cell phone, your printer, your scanner, these are different kinds of devices, right. So, how are these devices connected, the structure, the interconnection between them, this is what topology is said about, this is what all about topologies, fine. Now, see, for example, if I tell you that there are 10 computers in a room. Now, will each of the 10 computers need 10 printers individually? No, right. One printer is sufficient, like it is not like 10 computers are there. So, for one computer, one printer will be there, for each computer, each component will be there, it is not possible, and it is not also logical to have it, like we have so much technology, advanced technology. So, we can't put it like this, we have network connections to do it. So, how is this connection formed? So, this connection is formed, this is known as a network connection, right. So, all the nodes, that is all the 10 computers, they are interconnected with each other first of all, and secondly with that printer, with that single printer, all these 10 computers, they are connected in one go, that is in one computer network system. So, which system follows, that we will be studying, but this is what network connection is useful for. So, one device is connected with many other devices, and also each of the devices are interconnected. So, this is what all topology is about, and we are moving forward to learn the types of topologies. So, we have two types of topologies basically, one is physical and one is logical, okay. So, what is physical topology? Like we will be studying physical topology today. See, physical topology is basically the geometrical representation of a interconnection, that is they refer to the interconnection structure of local area network. So, this physical topology, it defines about how the connection of nodes are made in a local area network. So, today we will be studying this. So, there are different types of physical topologies. So, 6 different types of physical topologies are there. So, I will name them and I will list them, and also I will jot it down below so that you can write it down. So, the first one is bus topology, ring topology, star topology, mesh topology, hybrid topology and tree topology. So, these are 6 different types of topology, and we will be studying each of them separately and in details. So, talking about the first one, that is bus topology. So, what do you understand by the term bus? We know what is a bus. If we see outside in the road, so by that term we can imagine how long is a bus, how a bus looks like, right. So, what do you see in a bus when you enter a city bus or a bus? So, you can see the driver's seats are first, correct, and then you can see that two sides have like different seats. These are for ladies, these are for gents. Basically on the left hand, when you get up and sit, then on the left hand side it is for ladies and right hand side for gents, it is mentioned like that, and the middle part is the one that people walk. So, similarly just think of like this, that the center, the middle part is the cable and these seats are the nodes. That is why this structure is known as bus topology. So, we will go I will tell you the advantages and disadvantages of bus topology and also the definition. So, basically bus topology is a topology of local area network in where all the nodes, different kinds of nodes are connected with a single cable. Now, this is very important to understand. Like I have said you the example that the middle part is the cable and these seats are the nodes, like you see in a bus, in a real city bus. So, in this the structure is compared and made it like this, and so it is known as a bus topology because in a single cable. So, I will show you in a diagram and explain you there, but I am just saying it verbally now. So, in the single cable all the different nodes are connected. So, next part you will see the diagram and you will have the explanation there. So, we have gone through the definition of bus topology, and now I present to you the diagram of bus topology. So, with the help of this diagram we will discuss about how the nodes are connected and how the communication channel is formed. Fine. So, in this diagram we can see different nodes, like here you can see node 1 is there, node 2, node 3, node 4 and node 5. So, and also we can see there is a terminator and a black cable. Now, this is the cable which connects the node together. Now, see, we know in bus topology one long cable acts as a single communication channel. So, here it is the long cable, this acts as a single communication channel and all the devices are connected to this cable. Like these are the devices, these are the nodes and they are connected to this single cable. Yeah. So, node can be your computers, your laptop, your mobile, printer, scanner, they can be any device. It is not necessary that they should be a computer only, fine. The devices will depend on the length of the wire. Now, see, this is known as the terminator. Like in bus topology you have a certain limitation, like you cannot use bus topology for a long distance, it is used for a short distance. So, the wire, the cable that is used, it is of limited size. It can be like, you can't say like I will use it as much as long as I want. No, you can't say that. It is a short distance communication channel. So, that is why this is known as a bus topology and it has limitations of the length of the wire. Okay. So, I will go through the advantages and disadvantages. Let us see what are the advantages. So, the first advantage is easy to add and remove nodes in a network. That means what? Easy to add. Why? Because it is a bus, it is plain, it is just one cable connection. So, you can just add a node here, for example, you can add another node here, you can add a node here. So, it depends like how many nodes you can add based on the length of the cable. Similarly, you can also remove a node. How will you remove? Now, removing of the node will not affect other nodes. How? Because see, these nodes are not connected with each other. Like they are, you don't see a cable line here. Do you see? No, there is no connection here. They are only connected via this cable. So, suppose like node 4. So, you want to delete node 4. What do? Just simply cut off the connection and this node is completely deleted. So, how do you add a node? You can add the node wherever your space is available, you can add, and you can remove, just removing the connection of the particular node. Similarly, you can do it and it won't affect the other, because like I said, there is no connection between the nodes, like you don't have cables between the nodes. It's only a single connection system for your network channel. Next advantage is that you require only cable, correct? Because since I have already said it's a one long cable connection, so you just need a wire, you just need a single cable. You don't need any other stuff, only a single cable is required. You don't need like switch or router, you don't need any other device to get the connection, only the cable is enough to make a connection. Your third advantage is it's less expensive. Now that is also logical. Why? Because you have expenses for only your cable, and the nodes that you have that are already with you, or you may get one or two, but the main connection depends on the cable. So this cable is only enough to get your connection, so it is very less expensive. Your fourth advantage is it broadcasts the messages to each device which are connected through the cable. What does it mean? What do you understand by broadcast first of all? See, broadcast, you can say like one to many relationship. For example, this is one and these are many. That means what? Suppose one message has been sent and this message is going, like it's sent from the source and these are the destination, right? So only from the source one time the message is sent, and it is sent to every destination that is connected to it. So this is one to many relationship. So you can say that broadcast is similar kind of relationship. For example, here node 4, he wants to send the message, and what will he do? He won't send it to, you know, node 1 and again node 2, then again node 3, again node 4. No, he won't do that. He will just send it one time, and due to this cable, this is the cable, as it is connected with all the nodes, then automatically a message is sent to each of the nodes that are connected. So when node 4, which is the source, it sends messages, then this becomes the destination, the other nodes become the destination, and equally the message has been sent to each of the node connected. Next advantage is easy maintenance. Obviously it's easy maintenance, like I said, only your cable is needed. And another thing is, like suppose this computer is not working, or this node is not working, easily you can just repair this computer. You don't have to touch any other node to get to repair this. Sixth advantage is, in case of failure of any node, no other devices will be affected. Now this is also logical, very logical in fact. Why? Because see, failure of any node, for example, like I have said, suppose node 2, it's not working anymore, some malfunction is there, it's not working anymore. So failure of this node is like, this node is not working. Now what about the other nodes? Are they connected with each other? No. Do you see any connection here? No. So there is no connection here. When there is no connection, then ultimately when this thing, when the node 2 it fails, it doesn't matter, it doesn't like hamper the other nodes, because they are workable. He is the only one who's not workable. You can simply just repair it and again connect it back, so it will not harm any other nodes. So these are some of the advantages. I hope you have understood, and now we'll go for the disadvantages. So disadvantage, first point is, if cable fails, entire network fails. Now before in advantage, what did we study? That if any node fails, then it's not effective to any other thing, like they will not hamper to any other node. But if the cable itself fails, then the entire network will fail. Why? Because of this cable, which is also known as the backbone. Why backbone? See, in biology you have studied the human body, we have a backbone. So if we don't have the backbone, like what will happen? We won't be able to stand, sit, or even walk. We'll just collapse, right? So this is the thing which holds us. Similarly, this cable is known as the backbone because it holds the network, it holds the entire network system. So because of this, it is known as the backbone. So without this, if the cable itself fails, if this is only the main thing which fails, then where they are connected with this, right? Then if the connection itself fails, then what are they going to do? How are they going to send messages to each other? So this is why it's important that whenever the cable fails, the entire network fails. So this is a very big disadvantage of bus topology. Next disadvantage is, you can't send private messages. Now this is important. You obviously can't send private messages, because like in advantage we have said that broadcasting is good. Now yes, broadcasting is good, like you can, suppose node 4, he doesn't have to send each and every time 4 times, he doesn't have to send, but he can just send it one time and it will reach to every other. But what is the problem here? He can't send it private messages. Why? Suppose node 4 wants to send message to node 3. Now we'll say like this, yeah, simply he can just go like this and send the message. So this is the source and this is the destination. But no, this is like, it's connected, every device are connected. So that's why here only broadcast of messages possible. If this particular node wants to send a message to node 3, then all the other nodes will also get the message. The next disadvantage is it's time consuming. It's time consuming, why? Because it takes more time to pass the message. Now see, there is okay fine, suppose node 3 wants to send a message and then it will go like this. Here it will go, then again node 2, then node 4, then node 1. So it's time consuming. Next is your data can be sent in one direction. That means you will get an error if multi-direction data are sent. For example, node 4 is sending data in this direction and node 1 is sending data in this direction. So here you will get an error. So here an error will occur, and that's why the data should be sent in one direction. It cannot be multi-directional. So these are some of the disadvantages. I hope you have understood both the advantages and disadvantages. And now we will move forward to ring topology. Now similarly here also, when you hear the name ring, what is a ring? Ring is basically a circle, a circular structure. So here the topology forms a circle. So ring topology is a topology of local area network that creates a ring. How does it create a ring? Like each nodes are structured in such a form, they are connected with each other. For example, in bus the nodes were not connected like I have shown you, but in ring topology what happens, suppose this is a circle and within the circle there are different nodes. You can see the image here. So in the circle, what do you see? There are different nodes there available and each node is connected to two other nodes, right? So they have a connection with the adjacent nodes. So that's why the structure is like a circle and hence it is known as a ring topology. The main thing is each node is connected to its adjacent nodes, that is forward and backward, correct? So moving forward to the advantages, disadvantages and how the structure is made and what are like the faults that we have in ring topology. So let's move forward and look at it. So we now know the definition of ring topology. So this is the diagram of ring topology, and with the help of this diagram I will explain you how the connections are made, how the devices are connected within a ring. Fine. So you can see in the diagram that there are different devices. Mostly there are 6 devices in this diagram. So device 1, device 2, like that you can see the devices. So how is the structure here? The structure is in a circular form, right? So why is it circle? See, in bus topology what did we see? That there was a starting point and an end point. So those are known as terminator. But in ring topology we don't have a starting or ending point. Here we only have a structure which is which have different cables and they are in a ring formation. Now see in this here, in this like diagram, device 1, if we take for example, it's connected with two adjacent devices, device 6 and device 2. So by this connection, when each device is connected with the adjacent devices, it forms a ring. Now the other thing of ring topology is here also you don't need any router or switch. You don't need all this device to connect the devices. Only the adjacent devices are enough to get the connection. Now we'll discuss about the advantages and disadvantages. So the first advantage is it forms a strong network. Now this is definitely correct. It forms a strong network. Why? Because the nodes are adjacently connected to each other. Suppose a device 1, he wants to send a message to device 4. Now he doesn't have to, he can go in both direction. Like he can go in this direction, which is anti-clockwise, and he can also go in clockwise direction. So adjacent, because of the adjacent connections of the nodes, different nodes, he can follow either of the way and he can send his message directly to device 4. But here also one problem is that the devices, device 6 and device 5, if he sends the message in anti-clockwise direction, then these two devices will also get the message. So here also broadcasting of message is done. Here no privacy of messages capped. You cannot send private messages to any particular device. So the next advantage is every node can send data to every other node. Like we have already discussed, since it's an adjacent connection, so every node will can send message to every devices. Like node 1 can send message to node 5, so he can send the messages in any direction. But the thing is, each of the device on the way will get the messages. So here all the possible ways are possible. They can send message to each of the device. Like every device can send message to all the other devices that are present in the ring topology, that is present in the network connection of ring topology. The third advantage is transmission of data is fast. Now why is this logical? See, transmission of data is fast because the distance between the nodes is less. Now in bus topology, what happened? You have this kind of thing, the terminologies are there, here you have the devices, right? Now the transmission of messages were slow in bus topology. We already have discussed the disadvantage is that it is slow. Here, since the entire system is an adjacent connection, so the transmission is fast. Now device 1 and device 6, if you see this is number 1 and this is number 6. In bus topology it should be like this is device 1, this is 2, then this is 3, like that, and coming up you will get suppose 6 here. Now what happens if device 1 wants to send the message to device 6, then he has to travel a long way, like this, it will just go to all the other nodes and finally it will go to node 6. But in this here, see, this device 1 and device 6, they are quite near, they are the next door neighbor kind of device, so you can easily send a message in a fast form. So that's why the transmission of data is faster in ring topology. So I hope you have understood the advantages. Now we'll go for some of the disadvantages that the ring topology follows. So the first very disadvantage is it sends data from source to destination. Data passes through unnecessary nodes. That means what? Like I have already mentioned, since it's a ring, so what happens? Like this is a broadcast channel. Here also no private messages can be sent. I have already said this. So if device 1 wants to send a secret message to device 5, either he uses anti-clockwise or clockwise direction, but what happens? Whichever direction he uses, the other devices gets the message. So this message is sent to unnecessary nodes, right? Why? Because this node or this device doesn't need the message that device 1 is sending to device 5, because this is the only message that is useful for device 5. Device 2 and device 3, device 4, they have no use of this message. So unnecessary nodes are, they come in between in order to pass the message from the source to the destination. Here we can see an example of a WhatsApp group. See, suppose you want to send a message to only a single friend of yours, and by mistake you have sent the message in the group where your friend is already there. So the other people, see, for that message your friend is beneficial because you are saying to him or her, but the other people who are present in the WhatsApp group, is it useful for them? No, they will be thinking like, why is this message been sent in the group, or this is not a use, this is not our use. So that's why you have to send it privately to your friend in WhatsApp. So similarly here also you cannot send private messages. It's kind of a WhatsApp group kind of thing, so everybody else will also get the message. So the last disadvantage of ring topology is if a node fails, entire network fails, as all the nodes are connected with each other. So if we look on the previous topology, that is bus topology, what did we see? If the node fails, then it doesn't matter, right? Because why? The nodes were, how were they connected? They were connected individually with the cable. They didn't have a connection within themselves, right? But here what happened? Here each node is connected with every other node. Since it's a circle, it's a ring. So that's why if a single node fails, suppose node device 3 and device 1, either one or either many, doesn't matter. If a single node also fails, then the entire system, the entire connection fails, because they are connected with each other in a ring format. So these are the most basic advantages and disadvantages of ring topology. I hope you have understood it. So knowing about bus topology and ring topology was very important. Why? Because these are the basic topological structure that you need to know, how the nodes are connected, the interconnection things are made, and what disadvantages, like if you drop a network or you then one node is not working, then in which type of topology it gets affected. So ring and bus were the basic type of topologies that you already know now. Next time we will go for mesh topology, hybrid topology, because without these two you won't be able to understand what is a mesh or hybrid. Now hybrid itself you can understand, there are combination of different topologies. So we will go this in the next class. So let's brush up the topic. What we studied till now. What is a network? We know what's a network now. Then we have different components of networks, and now we know how this network connection made. We know the structure of how they are formed. So this was the second class of our computer network chapter. On the next class we will go for all the rest of the topologies and we will finally finish the topological structure. So thank you for watching, and stay safe and study more. Thank you.